Welcome, angels, to Think Outside the Box, where you can ask yourself, what if the opposite is true? You can surround yourself with a new environment, with new music, new conversations, new people. That and so many more ways, angels, that you're able to think outside the box. I am Heather Buzzard of Buzzard's Corner of Love, bringing people back to themselves, where we uplift and inspire you to become more who you truly came here to be. Angels, we'd like to say thank you to all the service members of this country here in the United States of America. Yesterday, we celebrated Memorial Day. So we here at Buzzard's Corner of Love say thank you to all service members and their families for the sacrifices that they make so that we can have freedom in our country. Thank you. Angels, this is the last Tuesday of the month. How time flies. We're going to close out our theme of the month with our last topic, which is spiritually momentum with humility and self-knowledge. Yet before we do that, grab your favorite drink, angels. Take a sip of your favorite drink. Today I'm drinking sweet tea. Love my sweet tea. Take a sip and sit back and relax. Just a reminder, May 30th, Forgiveness is Self-Love class. We have the link in the description below if you'd like to register. 11 a.m. Pacific time, adjusted in your time area if you aren't on the West Coast. Look forward to teaching about forgiveness is self-love. And truly, angels, it will set you free. It's a powerful hour webinar. Come and join us. We're closing out our last topic of the month, spiritual momentum with humility and self-knowledge. And you may say, well, why humility and self-knowledge? Well, one thing that I have come to understand as I've walked my personal path of spirituality, angels, is that being humble actually is a power. And it's a power that you can use for the good. And I used to think that humility was a weakness when I was caught up in my ego. An ego will make you think that being humble is weak. Yet that isn't true. In truth, humility is being able to be patient, be kind, considerate, etc. So on, allow other people to speak, to step back maybe when needed. And this is something I'm not claiming that I had this all under, because I don't. This is something that's new to me because, like I said, my ego always thought that it was a weakness. So it's going to take me some time to really ingest this energy of humility. Yet I do notice and can feel within myself my behaviors changing. It's a process. And in that process, I know now that it doesn't serve me to beat myself up about the process. So I encourage you to allow yourself to work with yourself regarding humility. Yet I will say this, angels. Let me just pull this up right here. Humility really opens the door to continuous remembrance because it keeps you open to another's perspective. In our world today, we are so closed off because we think it has to be this way and doing it this way. And I've always done it this way and I'm not going to change. And that's the way it's got to be. Yet we can't grow and evolve as a human species if we aren't willing to open up our mind. And I know that personalities can say, well, I'm going to stay the way that I am. And that's just how it is. And if that works for you, so be it. Yet for those of us who choose to open up our minds and to expand and to evolve, well, we can't help but do that anyway. Instead of going kicking and screaming like I used to do, being willing and being humble allows you to flow with the process a lot easier. And actually, angels, it's a funny thing is that when we let go of constantly needing to be right, we actually become more confident in who we are. Think about that. We as a society are bound to being right. The right way, the right religion, the right money, the right manners, the right way to speak, the right way to go about business. Jesus Christ sits on the right hand of God. I mean, think about that. We as a society have become so stuck in our egoicness to be right that we won't allow ourselves to open up to another perspective, which is where humility comes in. And I can speak from personal experience, angels. I was the queen of being right. And I was going to prove my point until I made you see that I was right. But it was a very exhausting way to live. It was a very frustrated way to live. And I was in a lot of tension, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, and a lot of so-called control. And I had no control over anything. Yet at the time, I thought that I did. So, what I've come to experience is that by allowing myself to work with this humility energy, I can step back, I can be quiet, and I'm working on allowing myself to hear and listen and observe more than speak and participate. And it's a process that I am in, yet it's beneficial. And that's the point to get across. Self-knowledge gives you empowerment. And this is what we do here at Buzzard's Corner of Love. We give you self-knowledge so that you can empower yourself. And you may think, well, what good is that for me? Yet it by you knowing that you have the power to mold, shape, and create your life, and that nothing on the outside of you can create that, that really is a powerful feeling when you sit with that, because then who is in control of you? You are. It isn't the news, it isn't the government, it isn't your family, it isn't your husband, your significant other. It is you who is in control. And when you connect that with your higher self or spirit, you're unstoppable. I'm living proof of it, angels. So, knowing that, as you understand that, you can align yourself with your values, your patterns, and as you align yourself with your values and your patterns, you will see that experience in your reality. As you'll feel good about yourself, and as you feel good about yourself, you build more self confidence in who you are. And also, angels, self knowledge gives you clarity and it helps you to grow. I spoke last week on my show about the experience I had in Texas. That experience gave me clarity. The growth was I was able to let go of a self-sabotage pattern that I carried for my lifetime, practically. Yet I know the second part of my life, that won't be. And that, angels, is freedom. And that's by my willingness to let go of what I thought I needed at that time. Now, I will say this. Personal patterns can be repeated as we think and react and communicate and move through life. So look at maybe a personal pattern in your life. Where can you apply humility and self-knowledge, the tools of breathing and walking away and meditating and laughing and changing your energy, listening to positive music, getting around positive people, being in positive environments? How can you apply that energy into a space or into an area in your life that can use more humility? It's applying that energy in your area of life that needs more humility that you will see yourself progress. Staying calm under pressure or showing compassion can often help keep other people stuck, such as people pleasing, avoidance, fear, or rejection. So if we're moving through life and we're not really realizing what patterns we're in, it can keep us stuck. Example, I in Texas became aware, consciously aware of self-sabotage. Now, mind you, angels, I had been told my whole life that I self-sabotaged myself, but those were just words. It's when we're consciously aware of it and we can see it that we're able to change it. And I was willing to be humbled. I was willing to allow myself to apply the self-knowledge that I have, I was willing to allow myself to move through that process. And this is all how we can allow this energy to work for us instead of our egos and pride and anger and all that working against us. Because it's when we flow with life, like I said on my videos, and it's on my YouTube channel, Angels. When you see a stream of water and you're trying to actually swim upstream, you're working against that stream. If you're trying to work against life by being angry and upset and mad and all that, then you're working against yourself. And I became aware of that. And once you really truly become consciously aware of it, there is no going back. I guarantee you that. So when you begin to notice your patterns without judgment, then you can gain the power to choose differently. Now, when I was in Texas and I allowed myself to see that pattern, there was absolutely no judgment, no self judgment or self criticism, which was the reason why I was able to let it go. Try it for yourself. Try something small. It doesn't have to be a big pattern, but try a small pattern in your life if you're conscious and apply the spiritual principles and see how humility energy works in your life. You can choose differently instead of reacting from habit. Habit has us react, and I'm guilty of that myself. In fact, today I did something out of habit, even though it's something that I'm consciously choosing to stop, still out of habit, I go and do that behavior. And it's becoming conscious of that and aware of that we can change our habits. And awareness creates a space for transformation. And that is what the butterfly represents, transformation. That's a space that I move through consistently on a daily basis. Where are you moving through a transformation in your life? You know, values are deeper than spiritual principles. That values will guide us in how we choose to live. So, the way that you're living your life in this current moment, are you living by your values or are you living by another person's value or what somebody told you you needed to live by? That's one thing I've noticed with myself. As I move into my golden years and whatnot, I'm like, Heather, you can create and shape and mold your life to how you choose to see it. It is no longer your parents' way because they passed, and you're no longer under their household, and you molded and shaped your consciousness. So how do you choose to mold and shape your life? And I tell you, angels, I was listening to a video today, and it's when we put limits on ourselves that we stop using our imagination and that we stop growing. God gave us our imagination to create our whatever it is we choose. And that helps us really to move forward, to tap into our childhood dreams that we said we were going to be as a grown up. Those dreams are still within us. They may be suppressed and pushed down, yet they are still within us. This right here is something that I said that I would do. Communication, speaking with people. I didn't know what way, shape, or form. Yet as a kid, I said I was going to be a writer. I was going to talk with people. I was going to have my own show. And here it is today. I can't imagine seeing myself in any other way. Yet it's the values. And we have those values as children. Yet as we become adults, our values shift and change to please people, to fit into environments, etc., so on. So, values can become an inner compass behind our decisions, our relationships, and our values can become a sense of fulfillment. Things like honesty, peace, freedom, growth, compassion, integrity, connection, angels. I live my life by that. And that is character. How many people in your life do you know have real character? Seriously. There's a lot of people out there that desire to be your friends or, or connect with you on social media and whatnot. Yet, how many people are in your inner circle that have true character, humility, compassion, freedom, growth, expansion, etc., so on? And when we align ourselves with our values, angels, we tend to feel more grounded, energized, and authentic. And that's one thing I do pride myself on is authenticity. I am very, very prideful about that, about myself being authentic, because I know the work I put into myself to be in this space, because there was a time when I wasn't. And honesty is who I am too. Sometimes I can be a little more gentler in speaking my honesty and not being so blunt. Yet that all comes with self knowledge, awareness, and humility. And I'm just using examples in my life, angels, to show you or to help you apply that in your life. Yet it's when we ignore our values to meet expectations or seek approval outside of ourselves that we feel disconnected, emotionally drained, and self knowledge, self empowerment, angels, helps us to recognize our patterns, what is draining us, what it is that we need to be doing, have to shift that energy so that we can step into a better space, so that we can create a better life. And this only works if you truly believe that you are the author and subscriber of your own life. Now, if you think that the world is making you have this life, or government or other people, or your family, etc., so on, then this won't work for you. Yet it's when you choose to claim that you are the author of your life, which means you accept responsibility for where you are today and your choices, that's maturity. And that is freedom, angels, because then you have the power to create whatever it is you choose to be, do, and have. Think about that. It's when we live on autopilot and we're not even conscious of what we're doing, that we're out of alignment with ourselves and with life, and we wonder why we have issues and problems and so much anger and tenseness and sickness in our bodies and etc., so on. Try it for 3 minutes, angels. Just try to allow yourself to move through 3 minutes of your day relaxed, peaceful, still, quiet. I said last week the number one thing adults are afraid of are being alone and quietness. People don't like to be with their thoughts. Yet I tell you, being in the quiet is a powerful energy, because when you're sitting and being and just allowing yourself to be, more than you know is happening and occurring, and what you're allowing into your life. I'm a living example of it, angels. So as we align ourselves with our values, we can feel more grounded, more energized, or more authentic. Authentic. Didn't want to trip up there. We can feel more authentic when we're aligned with our values. Ask yourself that. Christmas time, Easter time, we're all in our values and all of that. Do you feel more grounded? Do you feel more authentic? Or is it just for show? Only you know. So it's when we're disconnected or emotionally drained, angels, that we seek approval from the outside, that we try to look and get validation from the outside. Think about this. Look at our world today and all the outside validation that people are seeking. We are a tired, drained species. We have forgotten our values. We have forgotten our integrity. We have forgotten authenticity. We have forgotten compassion. We have forgotten to love ourselves. So we damn sure can't love another. Look at the world today. Now, not all the world, because there's a lot of good that is happening in the world. So focus on what good is happening, and where you focus your energy, that will come back to you. Yet if you're focusing your energy on negativity, then negativity is going to come back to you in some way, shape, or form. That's just the law of the universe. Whether you watch the news, you watch gossip, you're on social media, whatever it is, it's got to come back to you. Law of the universe. So actually, angels, in summary, humility allows us to remain open, teachable, and willing to grow. It helps us to release the need to always be right and it creates a space for deeper self-awareness and stronger relationships and continuous learning in our life. That is the truth if you're willing to really, truly become humble. 5 ways, angels, that you can practice this. Active listening. This is something my aunties told me about, and I've actually looked into, and active listening really will put you in that space of humility, because then your ego isn't trying to get its way, and you're really truly listening. So active listening is you stop waiting for your turn to speak, and you're truly focused on the other person, and you're seeking to understand their perspective and ask clarifying questions instead of forcing your own questions. And I'm speaking to myself, Auntie. I know I see you. And truly, because that is one thing that I'm working on with myself, is actively listening. Own your mistakes. When you mess up, own it, because it's only when you're willing to own it, angels, that you can change it. Offer a sincere apology, and then take steps to change it. The third thing you can do, and a lot of people don't do this, very simple, is ask for help. That's one thing I will do in a heartbeat. If I don't know something, I'm going to ask somebody for some help. Pride, the feeling that we should know, that we'll look stupid, that we're ignorant, etc. So all those negative thoughts stop us from asking for help. It's a tool that you can use. Celebrate others. Are you one to clap for others and be happy and grateful and appreciative as you see others climb up the ladder? Or do you secretly hold envy, jealousy, anger, and how come them and why not me energy? Ask yourself that, angels. This is a tool that will help you become humble, because I know for me, as I heard that and applied that and really truly started to celebrate others, then I see that the universe will celebrate me as well. Law of the universe again. And the fifth thing is seek constructive feedback, not critical feedback, but constructive feedback from friends that you know that will be honest with you, so that you can apply that feedback in your life and move forward. And that's one thing that I consistently do. I have a small group of people that I will go and seek advice from and ask them, how can I change? In what ways can I be better in this, that, or the other? And I take that and apply it in my life, angels. So there's 5 ways that you can apply this humility energy into your life, and use this self-knowledge and self-empowerment, and show yourself that you truly deserve to have a better life. You are the creator of your life. What is it that you choose? We always end our podcast in that question. What do you choose? Angels, next week, our theme of the month is aligned abundance, open to receive. Our topic is clearing space to receive. Forgiveness is self-love. May 30th, angels. The registration link is in the description box below. Copy and paste that. Sign up. I'd like to see you. May 30th. Forgiveness is self-love. It'll help you become more humble. The more unforgiveness you release, the more honesty you can be with yourself, the more you can be in alignment with yourself. That's May 30th, angels. We put a post in our community honoring our veterans. Check that out. And as always, next week, our theme of the month for the month of June, aligned abundance, open to receive. And our topic is clearing space to receive. Angels, I am grateful and appreciative of all of you. Like, subscribe to our channel. We love you here at Buzzard's Corner of Love. Until next week, angels, I am Heather Buzzard, a Buzzard's Corner of Love, bringing people back to themselves.